I think we all agree that architecture is something that you need to experience in real life. That's where the true joy of it comes, and that's where you really get to know the specific building and how it functions. But I think putting architects' work together in an exhibition like it's done here at the Aedes Gallery in Berlin, and showing a group of buildings, a group of projects done by one office, in this case 3XN, is also a very, very crucial way of beginning to communicate the larger issues that are at stake when you look at the field of architecture. At Gehl Architects, we're quite a small company, but we're a specialist company. So most of our work actually takes place in collaboration. Collaboration with clients, with cities, and in many, many cases also with other architects that will help put physical form to some of the thoughts that we have produced. So our work is very much something that goes hand in hand with other architects' work, and I don't think we really look at our work as something that should stand on its own. It really deserves only to come out into the world in collaboration with others. This fruitful dialogue between architects and clients and customers and users is something that really can push the agenda of architecture, and we find that crucial and something that we strive for every day in our work. And this study of behavior and this fascination with architecture and behavior is one we share in our office with the work of 3XN, and I think that's also why the work that Kim and his team are doing is something that we can really relate to. We are ourselves as an office working more with the public spaces in the city, the public realm, but when I look at the work of 3XN, I see a sensitivity also to that atmosphere and to that dimension. And certainly when I look at their work, the idea and the notion of city as a communal space, a space for social getting together and for people, is very much evident in the work they do, and I'm therefore very fond of being part of this opening.
The exhibition is a project from the last 6 years or something like that, and our office has been ongoing for more than 23 years, so it is a smaller part of our projects. But it's from when we really realize it and really work with how architecture shapes behavior. So this is the idea behind it. That's why we call it Mind Your Behavior. It's not to tell people how they should behave. It's more that look about how you behave and how people behave. It's more like a question. What it really tricks me is to make architecture that does something else than just form. I think it's very, very important that architecture has meaning. And for me, meaning is how architecture shapes behavior. I realized that when we did the gymnasium, high school, where we should make a very open learning environment. And we did a five-story high building with a lot of integration and with a staircase that combined all the different floors as an inside cityscape with plazas and lounge areas for the students to interact, to communicate and to meet each other. And there we learned that architecture really can do something for behavior. The kids were starting being inspired by each other and starting acting in a different way and being more social individuals. It's not that they're going to be the best students, it's more that they are going to take care of each other. They're going to be prepared to come out in the real world. And then I realized that architecture can do something for behavior. And this you can use in any building. You can use it in an office building, and you can use it in big scale when you do big environments, 60,000 square meters, 100,000 square meters, whatever. You can look about how people move around the buildings, how they sit outside, and how the sun comes down. And if you take a lot more care of all that, instead of just thinking about the form as an icon, but more the form as something that creates special places for people to be, it becomes a lot more interesting. And even the form becomes more interesting because the form gets a meaning. And that's what I think is important. I think the challenge for the city plan and architecture in the future is that people are moving in from the countryside in the small towns to the bigger towns. But to talk about the big cities, the challenge there is to densify the cities, because we cannot just spread the cities out so they become too spread out and too much traveling by car or whatever to come into this center where you work. So we have to densify them. We have to densify them in a good way, so there's enough air and light, and of course enough liveliness between the houses too, and space for people to have social activities. I think that's one of the big challenges in the future.